बच्चों आप सभी का स्वागत है। जय हिंद। वेलकम टू टुडेज लाइव सेशन अगेन। ओके, तो मेरे को बच्चों का मैसेज आया, बहुत सारे बच्चों का मैसेज आया कि सर आप हमको भी दे दोगे रोड बैच, हमको भी चाहिए, हमको भी चाहिए। तो मैंने सोचा यार कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, तो मैंने कहा भाई फॉर्म भरो, आप गूगल फॉर्म भरो अपने। तो ओके, गूगल फॉर्म भरेंगे जो बच्चे, उनको हम बैच का एक्सेस दे देंगे। तो गूगल फॉर्म भी हमने बनाया है, हमारी टीम जो है लगी हुई है मदद करने में। और जो फॉर्म हमने बनाया है उस फॉर्म को आपको जो है भरना है। ठीक है, तो धीरे धीरे बच्चे जुड़ना चालू होंगे। आप सभी का स्वागत है आज के इस लाइव सेशन में। ओके जी, आप सभी का स्वागत है फिर से। तो मेरे पास काफ़ी सारे बच्चों का मैसेज आया, आप लोगों ने देखा, मैं लाइव भी था, कॉल आया, बच्चों का मैसेज आया, उसके बाद फिर मैंने दोबारा से लाइव सेशन किया। अब ये हमारा यूजुअल टाइम है टी विद शिवम सर का, ठीक है, जहाँ पे कि मैं आता हूँ अपनी चाय के साथ, आप लोगों से बात करता हूँ। तो एफकेट वाले बच्चे जो क्वालिफाई किए हैं उन सभी को भाई की तरफ से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत बेस्ट विशेस। पर क्या एग्ज़ाम क्वालिफाई करने के बाद हम रुक जाएंगे? ना ना ना, बिल्कुल भी नहीं। एक एक बच्चे के मैसेज का रिप्लाई करेगा भाई। और अगर आपको नहीं पता तो मैं आपकी जानकारी के लिए बता दूं कि हमने एफकेट में बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट स्कोर किया है। ठीक है, तो अगर मैं आपको बताना चाहूं तो इंस्टा पे भी हम इसको डालेंगे। इंस्टा पे भी हमने अपना रिजल्ट का भी पब्लिकेशन नहीं करा है, तो हम उसको डाल देंगे। ठीक है, तो आप लोग अपने आप को यहाँ पे, जो बच्चे एफकेट वाले हैं, एफकेट क्वालिफाई जिन्होंने किया है, वो गूगल फॉर्म भर सकते हैं और गूगल फॉर्म के माध्यम से हमारी टीम वेरीफाई करेगी और आपको जो है डिटेल्स दे दी जाएंगी। ठीक है, आपको जो है बैच का एक्सेस मिल जाएगा, आपको कुछ नहीं करना, अपने दोस्तों तक भी ये शेयर कर देना। और तो आप सभी का जलवा देख रहे हो एफकेट मैच का, इतने सारे मैंने इंस्टा पे डाल दी है वीडियो। ठीक है, इंस्टा पे भी हमने जो है डाल दी है अपनी वीडियो। ओके, चलो चालू करते हैं आज का सेशन, ये वाला। इस सेशन में मैं आप लोगों से बात करूंगा आपके एफकेट के रिजल्ट के बारे में। एक बार मैं पहले भी सेशन कंडक्ट किया हूं, टी विद डिफेंस एग्जाम मास्टर। ये सेशन जो है हमारा, ये लगभग आधे पौने घंटे चलेगा, आधे पौने घंटे चलेगा। टी विद डिफेंस एग्जाम मास्टर 11 मार्च। ठीक है, इसमें हम बात करेंगे एफकेट की, एफकेट रिजल्ट के बारे में बात करेंगे। ठीक है, मेरी कमेंट्स पे नज़र है, कमेंट्स अभी ओपन होना चालू हो जाएंगे इसमें, रुको, यहाँ पे कमेंट्स ओपन होना चालू हो जाएंगे, अभी हम बात करेंगे कमेंट्स की, एक सेकेंड। ठीक है, एक सेकंड रुको, जस्ट होल्ड ऑन यार। हाँ जी, तो आप सभी का स्वागत है वापस से। कुछ समय के लिए लाइव रहूंगा मैं, 15 से 20 मिनट, उसके बाद अपनी क्लासेस हैं बैच के अंदर। जिन बच्चों ने एफकेट क्वालिफाई किया है उन बच्चों को मैं इतना ही बोलना चाहूँगा कि आपको एक गूगल फॉर्म आएगा, उस गूगल फॉर्म का लिंक मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन इसमें डाल दे रहा हूँ चैट में। ओके, नहीं आया, दोबारा से डाल देते हैं। उस गूगल फॉर्म को आप फिल कर सकते हो अगर आपने एफकेट क्वालिफाई किया है। इस फॉर्म को आप फिल कर दो। इस फॉर्म, अगर आपने एफकेट क्वालिफाई किया है, चलो भाई, अगर आपने एफकेट क्वालिफाई किया है तो घर घर गरुड़ योजना के अंतर्गत आपको जो है, हो सकता है कि हमारा गरुड़ बैच मिल जाए फ्री। आपको अपनी बेसिक डिटेल्स डालनी है और हमारा एसएसबी का गरुड़ बैच जो है आपको दे दिया जाएगा। ठीक है बेटा, एसएसबी का गरुड़ बैच आपको फ्री एक्सेस मिल सकता है। मैं 26 बच्चों को फ्री एसएसबी कोचिंग कराने वाला हूँ एफकेट के एएफएसबी की। तो आपको क्या करना है, इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में जो लिंक है उसको आपको फिल कर देना है और उस डिस्क्रिप्शन के नीचे दिए हुए लिंक के माध्यम से आपको डिटेल्स भरनी है, अपनी स्कोर कार्ड लगाना है, टीम रिव्यू करेगी और आपको एक्सेस दे देगी। सुमन मांझी सर 139, बहुत बढ़िया, शाबाश। ये फॉर्म भर दे जो तेरे नाम के ऊपर आ रहा है और उसको अपना क्लेम कर सकते हो बेटा। ठीक है, मैं चाहूंगा कि आप उस फॉर्म को भरें और उस फॉर्म को भरने के बाद आप जो है अपना वो कर सकते हो। सर व्हाट अबाउट एएफएसबी डेट्स? बेटा एएफएसबी डेट्स के बारे में भी मैं आपको बता दूंगा। आई विल शेयर यू अबाउट एएफएसबी के बारे में। सेशन को लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब अगर आप लाइक करोगे तो थोड़ा सा ये सर लिंक को ओपन नहीं हो रहा है। आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हो मेरे नंबर पे, अगर आपको लिंक चाहिए, यू वांट टू गेट अ फ्री बैच, आप मेरे को लिंक मेरे नंबर पे व्हाट्सएप कर देना। ठीक है, गेट फ्री एएफएसबी बैच आपको व्हाट्सएप करना है मेरे नंबर पे, मैं नंबर आपको पिन कमेंट में लगा रहा हूँ, ठीक है। मैं नंबर पिन कमेंट में लगा रहा हूँ, आप उस नंबर पे कर सकते हो। एफएसबी सेंटर डेट सिलेक्शन लिंक कब ओपन होगा? बेटा वो हो जाएगा तो मैं आपको बता दूंगा, पैनिक मत करो, जब होगा तो आपको पता लग जाएगा। एफकेट वाले इस पे अपडेट दे देंगे कुछ ना कुछ। दिशा सेल का इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल और इनका जो सोशल मीडिया है उसको आप टैप करते रहो, उस पे आ जाएगा। सुमन मांझी आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप करो मेरे नंबर पे, देखो आपको नंबर आया होगा मेरा पिन कमेंट के अलावा, मैं चैट में नंबर दे रहा हूँ, रुको। जो भी बच्चा इस नंबर पे व्हाट्सएप करेगा उसको मैं लिंक भेज दूंगा। चलो भाई, 7:15 बजे ऑफलाइन जाएंगे, 7:45 से आई क्लास। एक सेकंड रुकना। सुमन मांझी का मुझे मैसेज आया है, जिन बच्चों को एफकेट के लिए फ्री बैच चाहिए वो मुझे मैसेज करेंगे बच्चे। प्लीज डू नॉट कॉल मी, व्हाट्सएप डालो। आप मुझे कॉल मत करो, व्हाट्सएप डालो, ठीक है। ओके, डोंट कॉल मी, सीधे व्हाट्सएप डाल सकते हो आप मुझे। अब जिन बच्चों का मैसेज आया है मैं उन सबको जो है फॉर्म भेज दे रहा हूँ, गूगल फॉर्म बनाया हमने। हाँ तेरा क्लास में आएगा, तू क्या चल रहा है? नहीं नहीं, तो आर यू अवेलेबल? ठीक है ओके, मैंने ग्रुप में टैग किया है ना, मैं एक बार सर को कॉल कर रहा था बस इसलिए। ठीक है, तो सार तो नहीं आएगा, उसका मैसेज आया था। हाँ कुछ इशू है उसका, विवेक विवेक के साथ तू ज्वाइन कर लेना, ठीक है? ओके वेट वेट, ठीक है, सर से बात करता हूँ, रुक। हाँ सर, सेशन होगा क्या? हेलो सर, सर लिंक वही है? सेम लिंक सर, ठीक है सर, मैं बोलता हूँ बच्चों को सर। ओके सर। ओके, तो इंटरव्यू सेशन हो रहा है सर का, ठीक है? और मैं ब्रिगेडियर अखिलेश भार्गव सर जो हैं हमारे एसएसबी के मेंटर हैं, हमारे बैच में पर्सनल इंटरव्यू लेते हैं। मैं विवेक को भी बोल देता हूँ, ठीक है, वो ज्वाइन कर लेगा।
आप जिस व्यक्ति को कॉल कर रहे हैं वह उत्तर नहीं दे रहे हैं, कृपया कुछ समय पश्चात प्रयास करें। द पर्सन यू आर कॉलिंग इज नॉट आंसरिंग, प्लीज ट्राई लेटर।
हेलो हेलो हेलो, माइक चेक। बच्चों 1 मिनट होल्ड करना। मैक ओएस स्क्रीन कैप्चर, विंडो कैप्चर, डिस्प्ले कैप्चर, ओके। स्पीड डिजिटल ऑडियो, ठीक है बच्चों। ब्रिगेडियर अखिलेश भार्गव सर का सेशन चल रहा है हमारा, हम ज्वाइन करेंगे। हम कोशिश करेंगे कि सेशन को रिकॉर्ड कर लें, और मेरी कोशिश रहेगी कि मैं तुमको भी दिखा दूं। ओके, मैं अपना बड़ा वाला कैमरा यहाँ पे घुमाऊंगा सो दैट आई कैन ऑल्सो ज्वाइन। I can also join this session सर के साथ।
आज 2 बच्चे हैं बस।
हाँ सर,
2 गायब हो गए।
हाँ सर, एक देयर इज अ कैंडिडेट जिसने ज्वाइन नहीं किया सर। सर मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको सर?
चेक करना विवेक को आ रहा है इस सेमी कमिंग कुछ आ नहीं आ रहा तो
सर नहीं तुषार नहीं आएगा सर, उसके फादर की तबीयत खराब है सर। मेगा
वो ठीक है, वो 3rd-4th सेनी सुकांतो
सुकांता सैनी सर, सुकांता। मैं एक बार कॉल कर लेता हूँ सर उसको। नहीं सर, मे बी शायद ज्वाइन नहीं करेगा वो सर. We can start this.
Okay, fine. So today's class is basically to tell you the small things about when you appear for the interview. Then what are the things you must keep in mind to ensure that whatever you are speaking is more effective, looks more intelligent, and also whenever you speak, you are speak to the point and which is relevant for the SSB interview. Now, unlike other interviews, there are question and answer sessions mostly related to technical field. However, here in the SSB, it is all about assessing your personality by asking various questions. So it becomes very, very important that whatever questions are being asked by the assessor, his aim is to detect certain personality traits in you. Therefore, at no point in time, you are expected to prefix or suffix some questions from your own side and try to lengthen your answers and show off your knowledge. That may not be of use. So to that extent, I will be covering this class, and these small things comes in very handy to ensure that when you are speaking, you are being, speaking for what is desired in the SSB interview. Now, basically, what is an interview? It is a friendly conversation between two people, that is the assessor and the candidate. The assessor is called the interviewer, and the is called the interviewee. Who is Utkarsh Thakur? Okay, so it is basically the interview is a direct method of asking or confirming your quality or the personality traits in you. The questions are framed by the assessor depending on what you are speaking about yourself. Okay, so in a normal job interview, you submit your CV. Here in the SSB, you are expected to fill up your PIQ form. The PIQ form is very regimented. It is a printed form, and every candidate is required to fill that up. So if the information desired in the PIQ form is there, which you have done in life, then those columns you will be filling up, and balance you will be leaving out blank. Obviously, it is a clear indication that how versatile a person you have been through your life, and whether you have tried to make your personality an all-rounded one, or you have been totally focused on just studies or games or nothing at all. Okay. Now, obviously, when it is about personality traits, so answers will be related to your personal things which you have done in life. So it is nothing except that, yes, some general knowledge questions, and some in between it comes that which is your favorite subject. So those are related to some technical questions maybe there, but other than that, it is all about you and your interaction with so many people, and also whatever you have done in life in various fields, be it education, sports, or okay. Now, so whatever you mention in your PIQ form, it becomes very, very important. In the first class, I have already covered that why PIQ is very important and how much time you should devote towards it when you are filling it up, and be sure that everything what you have mentioned out there, you retain it in mind, because those are the very things you should be speaking during the actual interview, and not that something you have mentioned XYZ in the PIQ form and you are talking about ABC in the interview. So the PIQ form is, a copy of it is kept in front of the interviewing officer, or he would have made some notes on your PIQ form in his own note sheet. So therefore, you cannot afford to go wrong or haywire. Now, there various ways of defining interviews, but one of the ways is a fully structured interview and an open interview. So these two parts are very important. Now, this fully structured interview is where your syllabus is known to you and the questions are also known to you. Okay, understand this. The syllabus is known, the interview questions are also known. So this is fully structured and you can pre-prepare all the answers. The second part is that you know the syllabus, that is what subjects will be talked about, but what will be the questions you don't know. Okay, and how varied the questions can be, you don't know. So this is the open interview, open type interview. In the SSB, there will be a mix of the two, which is called semi-structured interview. The first part, that is the rapid fire questions which you would have heard about and which I will be telling you in the tomorrow's class. So those rapid fire questions, which I also call them primary questions, these are fully structured. क्या question पूछा जाएगा, क्या content है, everything I will be telling you, and you can pre-prepare the answers. Even more than 50% of the answers are there in the your PIQ form. You have submitted them like that in the written form. Few of that 40% to 50% are something which you may, again, they are from your life. You can pre-prepare them what you want to speak, and that's it. So therefore, when you are giving answers to these primary questions, you don't expect that if you have done extremely well, given those answers in a very confident manner, and you expect that you will be selected. It is not like that, because उसके अंदर कोई दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. और अगर आप those primary questions का आंसर भी ठीक से नहीं दे पा रहे हो, you are not confident to give out, then तो immediately you are thumbs down. So the first step is that your confidence and the way you deliver those answers to the primary questions or the answers to the rapid fire questions is very, very important. Now, whatever you give answers to these primary questions, based on that, the secondary questions will be formulated by the assessor there and then. You say a thing and he has generated a question in his mind and he will ask that. So it is not pre-decided, but it is there and then the questions will be asked. So these questions will be very random and they can be anything related to what you have spoken. Certainly they will be related to you, and these I call them as secondary questions. They are actually known as probing questions, inquiring questions or cross questions, but I will call them secondary questions. It is the answer to these secondary questions what will matter in your selection process, whether you will pass the interview or not. So your answering to these secondary questions is very, very important. Okay, having said this, let me tell you here only that it is in the interview technique only where you will get a chance at the end of the interview to either correct, clarify or add on certain things from your life which may not have been discussed. So these three things, the assessor will ask you, is there anything which you want to say? Then you can either correct yourself if you feel that some answer you had given wrongly, then you can correct it. If you feel that some statement you made, the assessor has taken it wrongly, then you can try it. And third is that in your life, if you have done something outstanding thing for which you were appreciated either by some authority at district or school level, and you want to bring it out, it has not been highlighted during the course of interview, so you can add that thing by telling the interviewee that this is something that you want to add on. So this is a chance that you are getting only in interview. Neither in the psychology, neither in the GTO you can do this. Because in psychology, once your test paper is submitted, written test paper is submitted, it's gone is gone. Okay. And in the GTO, from test to test, everything will finish off once there are 9 tests. So after every test, you cannot be talking about the previous test. So like that it goes. Now, how should you be giving these answers? So there are certain rules which I have formulated, and there are certain more points which I want to highlight, and you should follow them. So then the quality of your answers will be very good and to the point, and that there are more chances that the interviewing officer will get impressed by the way you are speaking. First of all, interview is all about speaking, and therefore your power expression has to be good. Your use of correct vocabulary, being tactful, speaking the right, using the right word is very, very important. You are permitted to speak in English or Hindi, preferable is English. And if you are using dual language, your switch over from English to Hindi and back to English has to be a smooth one. Your style of speaking should be just like the water, as the water flows in the river, very smooth as far as possible. This can only happen if your speed of speaking, is slower than your speed of thinking, then you can put your thought in proper perspective and deliver it very nicely. But if you try to speak faster than you can think, obviously it will be, stop, go like that. The abruptness will be there. It will not be smooth. Now there are two rules which I expect you to follow. The first one is the ABC rule. Here, the A stands for accuracy of data. We know that if you are giving some answer, if you add some data to it, the quality of the answer will certainly be much better. However, ensure that your data is accurate and correct and not fatta maru. Okay. The B stands for brevity. Now, this is very, very important, and understand this, that when a question is being asked, you can pause for half a second before you start answering, but certainly do not try to prefix or suffix question from your own side. This particular question, as the answer is very small, so let me make my answer big, and then you add on certain things from your side. Never do that. If it is a one-word answer, so be it. If it is a one-sentence answer, so be it. And if you have to give some explanation, then let it be 2, 3, 4 sentences long. But certainly also on the other side, your answers as far as possible should not exceed 4 sentences. Okay, don't try to make a Ram Kahani out of your answer. It should be to the point, and also you should not be beating around the bush. The whole idea that your expression is good, we can say that your expression is good only when you can answer a question in as brief as possible, in as few words. If you can explain a thing, that means your expressive part is very good. So your entire aim should be throughout that it should be to explain a thing in as few words as possible. Now, this brevity is also linked to the time duration of the interview. So understand this, that your normal classes in school and colleges, they are of duration 40 plus minus 5 minutes. Why? Because scientifically it has been proven that the human mind remains focused on a particular activity for that much time. Thereafter, it will start wandering here and there. So here also in the SSB interview, the interview has been kept for 40 plus minus 5 minutes. That's it. That means the time is limited, and therefore another reason why your answer should be brief. The interviewing officer will set the will set the pace for the interview. However, if you keep expanding your answers unnecessarily, or keep adding your own questions to the question asked by the interviewing officer, then obviously you are not enabling him to finish the interview. Right? This onus will fall on you, and obviously then it will be thumbs down for you. Beating around the bush, come to the point straight away, will form part of the brevity point, because something like, if you have been asked how much marks did you score in class 12, and if you have not done well, you will start giving some extraneous reasons. Is like this, it happened like that, and therefore you come to the point finally that you could not score well. Okay, not required. If you are not done well is okay. So say it out what you have scored and let the IO ask you the reasons. He asks you. Okay. So from your own side, don't start making excuses. Excuse making is like what do you say? That guilty consciousness. Okay, that you yourself have already framed in your mind. You are feeling guilty about whatever you have done in your past life. So don't be sad. Whatever you have done, now you are done. You can't, repent now during the course of the interview. You have to just say it out what you have done. But yes, certainly, after you have realized that something in your life has gone wrong, or you have not put in your hard work, but subsequent to that, in the later classes or wherever you have worked, you have shown marked improvement, which can be appreciated. So that will turn the tables upside down. That is, you were not doing well before, and now that you have started doing well, so that will put you on the rail for the recommendation. Okay, the C in the ABC rule stands for clarity. That when you speak, you should be absolutely clear and to the point, and not that you start mumbling. Also, the energy level in your speech should remain constant. It should not be that the beginning of the sentence is high and then it is downward trend. The last words are not audible to the interviewing officer. It should not happen like that. The next rule is the ACE rule. ACE rule. Here the A stands for alertness. Now with our experience, we know that when you start answering, whether you are on the right lines or you have taken a wrong track. If you are on the right lines, then we would like to switch over to the next question to save on time. So the IO will start speaking in the middle of when you are speaking. And in the second case, if you are on the second case, when you are in the middle of, you are taking a wrong turn or you are answering the question, then we would like to further explain our question to put you on the right rail. In either case, when the IO starts speaking, and if you happen to be speaking, just stop speaking and listen to what he is asking you or telling you. Don't go on talking, because if you do that, at the end of it, you will say, "Pardon me, sir, what did you say, sir? What did you ask?" So that is a clear indication that you are not being alert and you are having that eye-to-eye contact. The C stands for cheerfulness. After all, the interview is just another test. So there is no point in having the tension on your mind, and that is very much visible that your color of your face is gone and there are stress lines on your forehead. So what should you be doing? You should have a gentle smile on your face throughout the course of the interview, irrespective of whether you are answering everything or not. And the second is no stress line. Maintain your cool and calm and have a patient attitude and keep answering one after the other. If you are not able to answer one, then be calm and get ready to answer the next question. Otherwise, if you have that stress on your mind, then the previous question you have not answered, the next question which is coming also you will not be able to answer. So just take it that way. The E stands for enthusiasm or energy level. The body language, the force with which you speak, uske andar bulandi kitni hai. So all of that is very much visible to us when we are sitting as an interviewing officer. So therefore, when you start speaking, start giving an answer, in that energy level should remain constant and very much on that cheer on your face and that glint in your eyes, and the way you are sitting, your body language, which I will be talking a little time later. So all of that should be in the positive side. Okay. Now next is, if you are an achiever in one particular thing, something like if you are a very good football player, you have played at state level or national level, whether KB national or open national. Okay. So now it is not necessary that you mention it under the sports head, then you mention it under the hobbies and interest head, again you mention it in the extracurricular activity head also. So you will be thinking that I have done so well in football, let me explain him in detail. We will ask you about football only once. Again and again, we will not ask you same thing over and over. And we will think that other than football, you know nothing. You have not done anything in life. So better, whatever you have to mention, whether football or running or anything, you mention it at one place. Okay. And at appropriate place. Now, many times it happens that you know the answer, but suddenly the blackout happens. The blackout is just the answer vanishes from your mind. So if it is happening, the best way to tackle that is to say, sorry sir, I will come back to you. Rather than start looking up in the air or down the floor or on the side walls, as if the answer you will find somewhere written there. Nothing is written. Okay, so therefore you have to save time. And the best thing is what I said just now, that sorry sir, I'll come back to you. Now what does that mean? That come back to you means by the end of the interview, if you are able to recall, then you can, excuse me sir, and then you can tell that this is the answer. Or if not, still you are not able to figure out, then during the conference time, you can bring it out that a question was missed by me and we have found it out. So if he wants you to say, he will ask, okay, now tell. Otherwise, he'll say that, okay, remember it for future. Now, so therefore, how should you be preparing? I will be telling you about all the primary questions. So you think, okay, what will be my answers? Okay. So once you have decided what are my answers, thereafter, you sit down to say that if I have said this, what are the possible questions which the assessor can ask me? How will you arrive at that? By putting those 7 wives and 1 husband. Who, which, where, when, why, whom, aise karke, and how. So whatever is applicable, you put those on your answers and you will find a series of questions. So if you can explain those 7 W's and 1 H questions to each of your answers to the primary questions, you are ready for the interview. But you have to make the effort. Remember, again and I'll keep repeating this. This interview is about your personality traits. So don't start thinking of Ram Kahani and stories of funny nature. Everything has to be related to the personality aspects, which I will be highlighting tomorrow in my 3rd class. Any question in this so far?
सर मे आई?
Yeah, sure.
सर मेरे को एक सवाल था सर, जैसे कि इफ समवन फॉरगॉट द क्वेश्चन ड्यूरिंग द इंटरव्यू एंड कॉन्फ्रेंस में जाते वो बच्चा भूल गया और कॉन्फ्रेंस में सर अगर उसको वो सवाल नहीं पूछा जाता तो क्या वो खुद से बताएगा कि सर आई फॉरगॉट दिस क्वेश्चन ड्यूरिंग द इंटरव्यू, सॉरी आई कुड नॉट आंसर?
If he's saying anything else you'd like to say, then he can say like that.
अच्छा सर, ओके सर.
Okay. Now, there are certain things, again, some things which you can pre-prepare or you have to keep in mind. Firstly, during the course of this interview session, there is one question which is related to your favorite subject. So pre-decide which is the favorite subject which you will be talking about, whether it is from your 10th, 11th, 12th or from your college days. You select one subject. Number 2, within that subject, you select at least 1 or 2 chapters and revise them. Okay. During my mock interview, I will certainly grill you on this aspect. So therefore, if you are not revised, then you will say, I don't know. And the moment you start saying, I don't know, because I have given you 2 opportunities. What? Your favorite subject. So you have chosen your favorite chapter. Again, you have chosen. So favorite into favorite is double favorite. And then I am asking you question you are not able to answer. That means even you can't put an effort for your favorite things. What would you be doing about the thing which you don't like or you are just being forced to do? And in armed forces, there will be so many things which you will be forced to do. It is not some democratic thing. Once you have been asked to do something, you have to do it. So therefore, that is your grasping power and how you analyze things and the retentivity part of your mind. So those things are being checked out. Okay, so this part has to be taken in that context. The second is that many personalities will be discussed during the course of the interview. Your friends, teachers, parents, siblings, and your neighborhood friends if you are a student, and if you are working type, then your colleagues. 5 personalities will be discussed. So the questions will be related to what you appreciate in them and what are the things where you feel they need to change. And similarly, in your perception, what they appreciate in you and what they feel you need to change in yourself. So all these things are there. That means there are places where you have to be a little critic of your friends and others as well as yourself. So when you are doing all this, be tactful. The choice of words should be right. You should not be bashing somebody up. Ultimately, it is a reflection of your own self in somebody else's personality. So therefore, don't show your mirror by using very harsh word against your friend. No, he keeps sleeping. Whenever I call him, he never comes home in time, and he keeps making me wait. And now I also started getting late. All nonsense. Okay, so everything is reflecting on you, and you are letting yourself down. So remember to have the right word. Choice of the word is very, very important. So this is called being tactful. What to say and when to say, it's a part of the social adaptability. Okay, so it's very, very important aspect, and this social adaptability is a very important quality as far as the armed forces are concerned, because it is all about we and us and not about I and me. Now, SSB interview is all about you and what you have done in your life. So these primary questions are known to you. उसका आंसर आपको पता है. जो सेकेंडरी क्वेश्चंस है, जो आप बोलोगे उसके ऊपर आपका आयोग आपसे पूछेगा. Similarly, the same thing is applicable to your friend. So if that friend has just returned from the interview, don't start running towards him or her and start asking, तेरे से क्या पूछा, तेरे से क्या पूछा. You don't have to do that. Just remain focused on your PIQ form. और तुमसे उससे जो पूछा गया वो उसके बारे में पूछा गया, उसकी जिंदगी के बारे में. आपसे जो पूछा जाएगा आपकी जिंदगी के बारे में पूछा जाएगा. There is nothing common in that. So therefore, don't waste your time like that. And perhaps your friend has come in a very foul mood and he will be telling you all the wrong things, and you yourself will get into chakri at what you should be doing now. So therefore, avoid. Now, throughout this SSB process, and this is applicable to all 3 techniques, you should have a positive attitude and a positive thought process. Half glass full rather than half glass empty. Always look towards moving ahead. Don't look for excuses. Look for the positive aspects of how things can be done, and not that why things cannot be done. Okay. So always talk about कि कैसे इसको कर सकते हैं. Don't talk about कि उसमें ये कमी है, उसमें ये कमी है, उसमें ये कमी है. Talk about what are the positives in a person and how best we can utilize of that personality or whatever it is. So this positive attitude is very, very much desired. For the interview, you should be well dressed but not overdressed. A light colored shirt and a dark colored pant is good enough. If you are wearing a tie, ensure that your top collar button should close, and not that you start telling the interviewing officer, sir, it's actually too tight, I'm feeling suffocated. So what are you indicating? He will not say anything, but he will say what responsibility you have. You have not even checked out your shirt, whether it is fitting you or not. You just come back, it and come, and you are wearing here and trying to show that you don't have a shirt which is of proper fitting in a formal interview. Certainly don't try to put on a lot of spray and everything because you are sitting so far away. वो स्मेल हमारे पास तक पहुंचेगी नहीं, it will all go waste. So preserve it for some party post your recommendation. Now mannerism and courtesies, how you wish as you enter the interview room, how you shake hands. Okay, so all of that, how you walk smartly inside the room, don't have to march but walk smartly. So all of that is part of your mannerisms and courtesies of saying thank you when you are offered the chair to sit down, and to say sorry if you are not aware of the answer to the question asked. So all of that, wherever applicable, you should not be feeling ashamed of asking that. Any question on this aspect? All clear? Okay, now I come to something called body language. This is very important. So in a normal interview, when you go to any job or something, you are sitting across the table, and that is a distance of 3 to 5 feet. This is called personal distance. In the SSB interview, you are made to sit at a distance of 12 feet, which is called a public distance. The assessor is sitting behind a desk. Only the upper part of the body is visible, whereas you are sitting on a chair which does not have armrest, and your head to toe is visible to the IO. He can see every movement of your head, your ear and nose and what have you. So everything is visible to him, and we are seeing that which body part you are moving or shaking and what does it mean. So little bit of knowledge will come in handy. So the first of all, when you sit on the chair, there are 3 lines: the forward edge, the center line, and the rear edge. You should sit as far back as possible, and your backbone should be resting against the backrest of the chair. Your shoulders should be pulled back. Your body, that is your backbone, should be straight. Your head chin leveled out, and your that eye-to-eye contact maintained. A right angle at your hips, a right angle at your knees. Your feet should be flat on the ground. Your hands should either be entwined and kept on your lap, or with your palms down. You should keep them on your knees and hold them. Okay, so like that. Now, whatever adjustment of your bumps you want to do on the chair, you do it right at the beginning, because when a question is asked and you start shuffling on the chair, it is a clear indication that something is there in the question which is troubling you. So therefore, once you have taken a position, maintain it throughout. Okay. Never ever try to cross your arms across your chest. That is a sign of closed door. That is, you are not ready to talk free and frankly about yourself. And don't try to, especially in the cold weather, try to slip your hand into your pocket. No, that is bad mannerisms. Now, when you talk, to express yourself, the more expression getting into your answer. So you start moving your hands, playing your hands, which I am doing now purposely. Okay. So if you do little hand movement is okay, but too much of it is a distraction, and therefore that is why I gave you the region that put your palms down on your knees and hold your knees out there. Another reason for the same is that if you hold your knees, then you will prevent your legs from shaking. Shaking legs are an indication of poor confidence in yourself, or stress level is very high and you are having doubts in yourself. Okay, the next is about the eyes. Now, eyes are great talker. They talk too much. What do you mean by this? So you have seen in the Indian movies that without speaking a word, how much talking takes place between the actor and the actress, but merely through their eyes. The eyes can convey anything, whether that anger or happiness or satisfaction, whether it is romanticism or some envy, jealousy, everything can be visible from there. A staring eyes at the IO You don't show that stare at him, because it should not look as if you are going to eat him up if you find him anywhere in the open. Okay, so don't stare. You should have a soft eye contact with him throughout the interview process. Now, roving eyes, that is left to right when you are trying to search for the answer. Don't do that. You have to maintain that eye contact. When you maintain the eye contact, for some people, your eye starts watering. So instead of eye to eye contact, you focus it here on the nose of the bridge, or on the bidney point, or at the hairline, and that's how you are able to avoid those watery eyes. In any case, if you are having that as a some health issue or something, or whatever it is, habit, then you can blink, but don't keep blinking too often. Again, that is a sign of you are giving away that you are not confident in yourself. Never ever look down. That is a clear sign of low on confidence. And when an answer is some difficult answer is a question is asked, again, as I said before, don't start looking up at the ceiling or on the side walls as if the answer is somewhere written there and you will find it out. Nothing you will find. Okay. In any case, if you wait for more than half a second, 1 second, the assessor will switch over to the next question. He will not wait for you to answer. So if you are taking too much time, he will switch over the question. Okay. So that's how it goes. Now, one thing is always clear, that do not speak lies in the SSB. Now, God has gifted us with a very, with a habit that if whenever we tell lies, then automatically itching will start either in a hair, ear, or nose. And you will raise your hand to relieve yourself of that itching. The moment you do that, we are also watching you, and we will come to know that something is wrong, or whatever you have spoken, it is not the absolute truth. There's some mistake in that, and we'll try to find out in a roundabout manner later on. Okay. Any question in this body aspects? Yes. Okay. If there are none, then we come to certain silly things, excuses, silly excuses, I'll say. There are certain silly excuses, so don't make any silly excuse. Something like, sir, I did not get some preparation time. As far as we are concerned, it starts from the day you have filled up the form till now. The in-between gap is about 3 to 4 months or maybe more. So that much we find that it is good enough for you to prepare for a SSB process. There is nothing very technical about it. It is all about your life, and you don't have to, mug up so many things or thick books. Nothing is there. Okay. So therefore, this excuse is a silly excuse. Time not available. So my query will always be like this. Yesterday, did you sleep? Yes. Did you have food? Yes. If you have time to eat and sleep, then you have time for preparation. Simple. If you want to gain something in life, you have to lose something. You better be ready to lose some food and sleep to get to where you want to be. I couldn't find about this thing or did not know about this thing. So in today's world of internet and Google search, this excuse is very silly one. In any case, in and around where you are staying, you will certainly find people in uniform, maybe from the armed forces, if not from the armed forces, from the CAPF or the police people, and they will have certain knowledge about these things. Or you can travel a little distance of 3-4 kilometers and you can find some person who is from the armed forces who will clarify your doubt. So this silly excuse you should never use. Okay. Facilities are not available. When your games and sports column is lying blank, or you are just putting casual out there. Why? Because there were no facilities where you were staying at home. So in your school, if there were no facilities, there were no fields. Okay. Where you are staying, there were no fields. But both in your school and in your wherever you are staying, there are miles and miles and kilometers of roads and tracks. So you start running. These days, in every city virtually there is 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer run, half marathons. So many of them are being held across the country. So better start participating in them if you are not, inclined towards playing some team games or some individual game like swimming or athletics, or some team games like football, hockey, volleyball, basketball, whatever. Don't start talking of tappu and everything or gulli danda. They've got no place in the armed forces. So if you are using them, that means your IQ level is far below the required in the armed forces. Don't try to bring in some emotional angle into your interview. Either my mother was sick and she was admitted, or this happened, that happened. Until it is happening just few days back, that is up to a week before, when some things really go bad in your family. So okay, you can highlight it, but that's no excuse, because again your preparation time, that 3 to 4 months is there. So you are not waiting for the last moment to prepare for the SSB. Okay, it should have already been finished by then. So like this it goes. So like these are silly excuses which I would say avoid. Don't, because we will say okay, no problem, very good. I understand, but in my mind I am sure that when I start marking for you, it will be thumbs down for you. So, excuse me, as I said in the beginning, that for an armed forces personnel there is nothing called it cannot be done. It has to be done. Simple. Okay. You have to find a way of how to be it. Okay. Now, your interview will be either on the second, third, or fourth day. On the second, third, and fourth day, in the morning hours, there is a different test. Second day, you have the psychology test. On the third and fourth day, you have the GTO 1 and GTO 2. These morning tests will get over somewhere between 10:30 and 11:30. After that, the interviews start. On which day your test will be, it will all depend upon what is your chest number and how many interview officers are present in your board. So accordingly, it may be on the second, third, or fourth day. Irrespective of when it is, you'll be given a time slot to reach the waiting room. That will be about 30 to 40 minutes, 45 minutes before the interview. Now, what should you be doing in the waiting room? In the waiting room, there is one board, information for candidates. So you go over the headings and read at least one or two of them, what are the details written out there. Okay, if you have not read them when you were filling up forms after your stage 1 recommendation. Number 2, revise your para number 12, where you have mentioned your hobbies and interest and your sports, those table, and your extracurricular activities table, and the position of responsibility held. Because when it comes to talking about those things, it has to be same as what you have mentioned in your PIQ form. Otherwise, we'll take it that you have done nothing. If you have written something there differently than what you are trying to speak. Okay, so both the places you are going wrong. Okay, so next is whatever the general awareness questions you have prepared. So now the latest what is happening in under those topics, the magazines and the newspapers are available, current magazines and newspapers. So go over those topics, revise yourself so that you are well off and you have got sufficient knowledge about what is happening in those topics which you are prepared to speak when the assessor will ask you. Okay. So this is how you should spend your time in the waiting room. And when your number comes, the chest number will glow on the LED screen and a bell will be sounded. No matter who, the moment you see your chest number on the LED screen, your pulse rate will jump up. Okay, from 72 it will hit 90. So as you walk from the interview room to the door of the interviewing officer room, so you should take long deep breaths to calm yourself down. So as you reach there, open the door slightly and say, "May I come in, sir?" And after you enter, you wish, depending on what is the time of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, and you walk smartly to the table where he is sitting. And if he has stood up and extended his arm, then obviously he is expecting you to shake hands, do a firm handshake. But if not standing and he keeps you a signal with his hand or eyes to move towards your chair, then you should take a slight turn towards the chair and go and stand next to it. Sit down on his indication after saying thank you. So like that it goes. Okay. Any question in this? Who will interview you? It will be either the president of the board, who is of the rank of brigadier. Now the latest is that the commandant of the board is not going to take interviews. That is major generals, and there are deputy president, and there is a third officer who is present, who's again a colonel. He's called additional IO, intelligence officer. Okay. So there are 3 IOs. Earlier it used to be 2. Now there are 3, and provided they are all posted, so anybody can take your interview. Okay. Any questions?
Sir, may I, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, there is one question in my mind, sir. Sir, how much of general awareness, or I would say current affairs or current events are mandatory for an aspirant to know, sir, while going to SSB?
3 to 5 topics should be known to him or her.
Okay, sir. Guys, anyone you want to ask anything to sir, please open up and then ask your doubts. Sir, there is a question coming up also from a candidate. Which book would you suggest to read to defense aspirants, sir?
Like what? Or
Like in any genre, what they can read? What would you suggest, sir? To a general,
read for what?
to increase the
For what purpose?
to develop a hobby, or sir, to become capable of clearing SSB. This is what this kid is asking.
So, if you are talking about reading habits, then there are so many books which are coming. You know, अभी कितने गाजी आए, कितने गाजी गए. अभी Operation Sindoor में even I have written a book now.
Sir.
So headlines redrawn, I have sent you that thing. और उसके बाद जो है वो चेतन भगत की किताबें थी. ठीक है. Then there are some personality development books. Then there are some management books. Stephen Covey की. ठीक है. So all those are there. But the moment you are going into those management books or personality development books, you should also have those questions ready. That what have you learned from it? What are the lessons learned from it? What are the things which you liked about it? So all those things should be there.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now the interview is, I'll be dividing under the following heads. First is the small talk or rapid building. The second, under these headings, I will be taking tomorrow's class. The second is the opening remark. Next comes your CIQ 1 or rapid fire 1, which is related to your education, followed by cross questions. After this, CIQ 2 or rapid fire 2, related to your family, followed by cross questions. Next, the CIQ 3 or rapid fire 3, related to your playtime activities, followed by cross questions. After this will be your general awareness questions. Next will be your self-awareness questions. Next, thereafter will be your self-motivation to join the armed forces. If not selected, then what is your second options? Which particular branch you would like to join? All those questions will come in the next this thing. And the last will be, you'll be asked if there is anything which you'd like to ask, clarify or add on. So then that will be giving you a chance to you. So under these heads, I will be explaining you tomorrow the actual interview which you take place. Any questions in the whole class today before we wind up?
Yes, sir. I just have a question. Sir, most of the things like I have heard or seen, like there is a habit called as reading. Like most of them put it in the play.
Stay a little louder.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
So, like I have seen most of them saying that in the hobby section or in the PIQ form, they say that reading is a hobby. But I am a candidate where I have not inculcated that hobby, and most of the times I have come across this question that tell me or name me a book which you have read recently. But I have I know about the books. I have read something here and there, but I am not a core reader. So how to get out of such kind of situations, when you have not mentioned about it but still you are questioning.
When you know that this is the question which will be asked, which is part of the interview, तो मैं भी कल बताऊंगा इसको, और फिर भी अगर तुम तैयारी करके नहीं जा रहे हो तो अभी who is the culprit? You are the culprit.
No, I have never faced it, sir. So this was a question in my mind. So that's why I asked. अगर हमें
they are all a lead. What is a leader? Leader has to remain abreast with everything which is there and which is supposed to be expected to know. So if he doesn't have a reading habit, then obviously he will be not updated every time, and his subordinates will be asking, "Sir, वो क्या होता है? वो क्या होता है? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." After some time, his subordinate will say, "He's a useless leader. He doesn't know anything." They will stop having confidence in him, and if they stop having confidence in him or her, then thank you. वो follow नहीं करेगा आपको during the war especially. ठीक है ना? He will have less faith in you, and he will make excuses to get out of the situations. Simple. So therefore, अभी मैं तो इतने बच्चों, अभी तो इतनी उम्र हो गई, अभी मैं बच्चों को पढ़ा रहा हूँ ये सब, लेकिन जितना भी फ्रेशली you have studied ना, then I will take mock interview, then देख लेना कि मैं तुम लोगों को कैसे कॉर्नर करूँगा. Why I can do it? Because I keep myself abreast. ठीक है ना? That is what is the power of reading and studying.
Yes, sir. So my question is, what can be done now? So in this
can be done. अब अभी 5 दिन भी बाकी है तुम्हारे SSB के लिए ना, अभी भी 5 दिन में पढ़ ला लो 2 किताबें.
Okay.
Which are relevant to you, your subjects.
Okay. Got it, sir.
अरे it's never too late, बाबा. Start off now. It is the lethargy in you which is stopping you. क्या करना, छोड़ो तो फिर फौजी छोड़ दो, फिर क्यों ज्वाइन करो, बताओ. Simple like that.
Yes, sir. The point that I was trying to say is we have too many sources nowadays. So instead me reading, I can listen to ebooks.
तो not necessarily. अभी Kindle आ गया, Kindle में पढ़ो.
Correct, sir. I have such kind of
you read from but the books are the content are the same. You run the short version of the books. Everything is available on Google search.
Yes, sir. Correct. I like reading in that way. So reading a book and
So you read. यहाँ तो बता दो कि वहाँ read कर रहा है, but you should be what we are not going to scratch your थोड़ी देर तुम्हारा दिमाग थोड़ी देखेंगे इसने पढ़ा है कि नहीं पढ़ा है. हम 4 क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे तुमसे. You are able to talk about those, answer those questions. Very good. We are satisfied.
got it, sir. Understood.
Okay. Good day. And we'll meet tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the session, sir. Take care, sir.
Bye.
बच्चों, how was it? Stay for a while. कैसा रहा दोस्तों आज?
great, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. ऑलराइट, जो भी बच्चे मुझे शायद मैं आईपैड घुमा देता हूँ भाई, बहुत ज़्यादा दिमाग लगाया है मैंने. इस सेशन को रिकॉर्ड करने की कोशिश की है ऑन माई आईपैड. हाँ,
मैंने कर लिया रिकॉर्ड 2K में.
दिल ले ले तू मेरा. थैंक्स.
मैंने
उस दिन हम लोगों ने
रिकॉर्ड किया एंड स्क्रीन से
यार उस दिन हमने सेशन रिकॉर्ड करने की कोशिश की, आवाज ही नहीं आई पूरे दिन. आई थिंक तुम लोग थे, मेघा वाज देयर एंड वहाँ पे शिवा भी था, चला गया. मेरे को आई जस्ट वांट टू रिकॉर्ड इट सो दैट तुम लोग बाद में देख सको. इतने सीनियर ऑफिसर को लाना, इट टेक अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स टू ब्रिंग इन समवन हु इज सो सीनियर. समझ रहे हो मेरी बात तुम लोग? तो सर को लाने का जो मकसद था ना मेरा, वो यही है. सर मेरे इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर थे इन माई SSB व्हेन आई वाज गोइंग फॉर SSC टेक. तो पर्पस जो है दोस्तों, मकसद बेटा यही है कि तुम सीख जाओ. इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग में अवेलेबल कराएंगे. सर 3 से 4 लेक्चर्स लेते हैं. सर का फंडा ये है कि भाई पहले मैं पढ़ाऊंगा, लेट मी गिव दीज गाइज अ क्लैरिटी, देन फिर मैं इन बच्चों का पर्सनल इंटरव्यू लूंगा इनके PIQ के हिसाब से. बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं। अगर आप मुझे यूट्यूब पे देख रहे हैं, आप पीआई सेशन अटेंड करना चाहते हो, दैट इज अ सेपरेट बैच, द्रोणा बैच है सर का, और त्रिशूल में सर है हमारे साथ, तो आप आ सकते हो मेरे पास। बाकी मैं संभाल लूंगा, मेहनत लगेगी थोड़ा सा। अभी सर ने काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें बताई हमको, मैंने बाइट्स ली हैं छोटी छोटी, उसको शॉर्ट्स के माध्यम से आप तक पहुंचाएंगे। तो सर ने एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर किया कि रीडिंग क्यों जरूरी है। अभी सेवा ने पूछा था ना कि रीडिंग सर करनी चाहिए नहीं करनी चाहिए। भाई आई रीड अ लॉट, आई एम 31 ईयर ओल्ड, मेरे को तो कुछ एसएसबी नहीं देना अभी, फिर भी मैं बहुत पढ़ता हूँ। एनी जॉनर दैट आई लाइक, मुझे 3 से 4 दिन लगते हैं उस किताब को खत्म करने में, महीने में 10 किताबें पढ़ लेता हूँ भाई। फॉर्चुनेटली टचवुड माई वाइफ इज ऑल्सो एविड रीडर, वो मुझे किताबें ही गिफ्ट करती है। कुछ नहीं समझ में आता वो किताब पूछ लेती है, 4 किताब बता दो जो तुमको चाहिए। मैंने कहा चलो ठीक है, ये है, लिस्ट बना के दे रहे हैं, भेज दो हमारे पास तुम, ठीक है। सो रीड एज मच एज यू कैन, रीडिंग इज अ वेरी गुड हॉबी, इट विल हेल्प यू इन लॉन्गर रन इन लाइफ। और एसएसबी में अगर आप क्या लिखोगे जब तुम्हारे पीआईक्यू में एकदम सुपड़ा साफ है, एकदम खाली पड़ा है, ना कोई एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज, ना तुम्हारी हॉबी, ना इंटरेस्ट, हाउ यू गोइंग टू बिकम एन ऑफिसर देन। ये सेशंस जो है आई वुड से आई ओपनिंग सेशंस है तुम्हारे लिए कि बेटा इन सेशंस के माध्यम से तुम सीख जाओ। मकसद इतना सा था। विवेक पूरी रिकॉर्डिंग हुई है ना तेरी? विवेक
पूरी, हाँ
बढ़िया। इसको उसको यूट्यूब पे अपलोड करके अनलिस्ट कर देना। मैंने वैसे आईपैड से
पहले एडिट करना पड़ेगा ना, क्योंकि ऑडियो अलग रिकॉर्ड हुई है एंड वीडियो अलग।
ये तेरी जिम्मेदारी है, वो मुझे नहीं पता, बस हो जाना चाहिए, ठीक है, कर लियो भाई। ओके, बाकी मैं ये वाला सेशन ऐसे करके भी मैंने सेव कर लिया है, जहाँ पे मेरे वाले में पंगा ये हुआ है कि मैंने टी विद शिवम सर चालू किया था, फिर मैंने नाम एडिट किया, शुरू का कुछ एयर आ गया है उसमें, तो स्टूडियो से मैं कर दूंगा स्टूडियो से क्रॉप कर देना जब सर आए ना, बाकी फालतू की राम कहानी हटा देना, ठीक है बच्चों। वी विल ट्राई टू ब्रिंग इन मोर ऑफिसर्स हु आर पार्ट ऑफ द त्रिशूल बैच। अब अखिलेश सर का हो गया सेशन, कल की क्लास में मजा आएगा, कल की क्लास भी 7 बजे ही होगी, तो विवेक उसको भी अपन रिकॉर्ड कर लेंगे। पर्सनल इंटरव्यूज मैं पब्लिक नहीं करूंगा कि वो बच्चों के 1-to-1 होंगे सर के साथ, आई विल बी देयर विद देम, बट वो फिर पर्सनल चीजें हैं। आप असेस कराना चाहते हो अपने आप को, आप मेरे नंबर पे मुझे रीच आउट कर लेना, डिस्क्रिप्शन में वीडियो से उठा लेना भाई, ठीक है, दैट्स ऑल। अब मैं एक बार अपने लैपटॉप पे नजर मार लेता हूँ कमेंट में, सर रिकॉर्डिंग कब तक एक्सेस हो जाएगी। बेटा कल तक देने की कोशिश करेंगे। दिस वीडियो इज ऑलरेडी सेव्ड, टिप्स फॉर बिगिनर हु हैव जीरो नॉलेज ऑफ एएफएसबी। आई एम कमिंग अप विद अ वीडियो, प्लीज वॉच दैट, वी विल टेल यू सर कैन आई गेट रिकॉर्डिंग, वी विल गिव यू द रिकॉर्डिंग, डोंट वरी। चलो, दीज वर द डाउट्स, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग गाइस। अभी भाई मेरी सीडीएस की क्लास है, आई नीड टू लीव। थैंक यू सो मच बच्चों, जो हमारे गूगल मीट वाले बच्चे हैं, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग। आई विल सी यू टुमारो। 10 बजे मेरा जीटीओ वाला क्लास है, उसमें आना है। बाय। ओके, ठीक है, तो आई एम होपिंग कि आपको मजा आया। ठीक है, तो ये सेशन था अखिलेश भार्गव सर के साथ। आज की क्लास ये यहीं पे समाप्त होती है। मेरी तरफ से आप सभी को जय हिंद। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर लिसनिंग सो पेशेंट के साथ सुनने के लिए बहुत बहुत दिल की गहराइयों से धन्यवाद। और पिन कमेंट में डिस्क्रिप्शन में मेरा लिंक रहेगा, मेरा नंबर रहेगा, वहाँ पे मेरे को रीच आउट कर लेना। एफकेट रिजल्ट इज आउट, फॉर्म सबमिट कर देना, फॉर्म मांग लेना मेरे से नंबर पे मैसेज करके। टेक केयर, बाय बाय, जय हिंद, आई विल सी यू इन 10 PM सेशन।